Look at what Jared Bellman said, sorry. Marketing is a great conversation. What about systems and process that will lead to the future 100-year? I mean, that is a tough question, dog.
Yeah. So this is a very tough question because you're going to come up against a hard reality when you're dealing with a legacy agency like this. And it also depends on the culture of your agency. It depends on your relationship with, in many cases, family members or an agency principal who's been doing it for 40 years. If you walk into an agency principal's making $350,000, $400,000 a year, and you're going to go tell most likely him to do something different, you're an asshole. You know what I mean? That's really the way it is. Like, that dude's making significant bank, living a really good life, and his kids are taken care of, and his spouse is taken care of, and he's probably got a second home, and he's got a country club membership or whatever toys they like to play with, and you're going to go tell them that they need to do business differently. That's a really hard conversation to say. Not that you are wrong, just understand that you are an a-hole to that guy, because you're like, bro, I'm making 400 bills. You're going to come tell me that I need to do Facebook now? Like, seriously? Now, the truth is, you're probably right. Right. He doesn't give a crap about the next 30 years unless he does. Now, if he does, you need to have patience. And I hate patience. I have almost no patience. Again, reasons why I don't still work with my wife. Like, if I was smart, I would have had patience and I'd still be working there and I'd be making 10 times as much money as I'm making today.
You would be.
Because she wrote 4 policies yesterday from videos I did 4 years ago. 4 policies yesterday. 4 yesterday. Are you kidding me? 4 policies, 4 accounts, not just policies. Yesterday. Like, what am I doing? But I didn't have patience, so I left. So what I'm telling you is, if the person that you're working with, be it a family member or someone who's been successful in the past, is open to the idea of making changes, understand it will not be on your timetable. But here's the thing that I've seen that is the crux, is shit needs to be in writing. There's none of this, I'm going to take care of you. There's none of this, it's all going to be okay.
True.
You go to the agency owner and you have to have a very serious discussion that says, if this process takes 5 years, 10 years, I'm okay with that, or you're not. But like, let's say, but over the course of that time, here's what's going to happen, and here's how we're going to get to where we both are happy. And
listen up.
Because if you don't have it in writing, and I have seen this, I'll tell you, I've seen it at least, I was trying to count the other day. I've seen it and know of it happening 7 times for sure, and I'm sure that means it's happened 700 times, where there was conversations, it was, we're going to take care of you, and then shit just fell apart, right?
Yep.
And you don't want to see that. So you need to have a conversation. It needs to be in writing. You need to have tons of patience. You need to be appreciative of the fact that whoever you're working with has built the agency to where it is today. And if they're unwilling to do that, you have to have, and this is so easy for me to say, not being in anyone's position who is having this struggle, but just, again, I'm just culminating all the conversations that I've had over the years. You then have to be willing to leave. If you're not willing to leave, don't even walk into the room and have the conversation.
So here's the deal. So in June or July of 2009, so I was hired away from this agency in 2004. So I started with an agency, Mike Beard, #1 mentor to this day. And I hired by another place in 04, and they said, hey, if you come, we're going to give you this agents, they're retiring, we're going to give you their book, and you're going to be owner and all this stuff. And I didn't have it in writing, right? I had a contract, but I didn't have that in writing. And so I sat there, and after a year or two, when I was actually writing, and keep in mind I was the youngest producer and the #1, the second youngest producer was about 65, almost 70. And so I was bringing in all the business. I kept saying, hey, I always told them, I don't want to be an owner today. I don't want to be an owner tomorrow. In 10 to 15 years, I want to know this thing is mine. And that about at the time that I was like 27, 28 years old. And I said, give me about 1% to 2% say a year so that I can slowly steer the ship so that when you give me the keys, it's already pretty much going the direction it needs to be. And they would wait and they would wait and they would never get back with me and like literally ignoring me, right? And then in 2009, I came to them in June or July and I said, listen, you got 6 months to either let me have this conversation with me or I'm gone at the end of the year. And here's a long story short, I left at the end of the year and I started my thing 1/1 of 2010. And here's what I had to do. I had to throw it all out on the line and say, hey, here's what's happening. I said to my wife, I said, hey, I think I'm going to leave and we're going to start our own agency. Keep in mind, this would be in the third agency that I had to start from scratch, and I was on a non-compete. So don't give me your thoughts out there about, well, I can't leave. I had 2 house payments, a house on a golf course, you know what I mean? Son who's getting ready to go to college at the time. But I said, this is what's got to be done. And that's when I went out and did it. Yeah. But Hanley, your advice is so super, because there are agents right now sitting there saying, well, he or she's made me these promises. I'm telling you right now, what they've done is they need to get their production numbers up for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So when they turn around and sell their agency, they can get more value out of it. Now, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just being real. And those are the things that you have to think about.